Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we hear yet another story of a heroic rescue during the historic flooding our region saw in July. And several Kentucky school districts step up to help students in our region return to class later than usual because of the flooding.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
And this just in, it is finally Friday, I'm hearing. It is Friday, 6:33 on WYMT Mountain News this morning. Jim Freeman along, glad you're along. Brandon Robinson is here this morning for his Monday/Friday, I guess, coming back from a few days away. Well deserved. We are glad you're back here, sir.
Absolutely. Quick clarification,
yes.
Jim, before we move on.
Thank
the
you.
Food City, Coca-Cola, that big long name, I can't remember all of it right now, the Summer Fun Contest, it was free fuel for a year as part of the grand prize, which is a $2,500 value. So you had the number right. We just had everything switched around just a little
correctly,
bit there. So there you go. But yeah, so good prize. Get over there to the website and submit that there. All kinds of good stuff. But for weather, not so good stuff this morning. We're going to see again some fog across parts of the region. Let's go to the Whitesburg camera. They are fogged in this morning downtown. So just continue to be careful out there. Visibility is not great across the region in a lot of areas. So slow it down, take it easy. You're going to get where you're going at some point. Just be easy about it this morning. 57 Clintwood and Monticello to 64 in Jackson. That's our temperature range this morning. For the rest of the day, basically right there around 60, 62 across parts of the region this morning. Some sunshine and some fog, and then rain chances move back in later today as we top out in the low 80s across the board. Jim?
Okay, Brandon, sounding good. Neighbors rescuing neighbors. 3 weeks after historic flooding hit our region, stories of rescues are still being told. Bob and Debbie Smith of Whitesburg were one of those couples. They waited on their porch as 5 feet of water flooded their home, putting out a cry for help on Facebook. Friends with a boat came to their rescue, helping Debbie from her wheelchair into the boat, fighting a strong current to get safely to drier ground. Bob says the locals are true heroes, and he's thankful people saw his post on Facebook, or he's not sure they would have gotten out.
That's what people said. That's how they knew, because we're isolated down here. Nobody would have been driving down here for any reason. So people started going over there by the walking track and just kind of waiting for a boat to come that they had, talked to.
Debbie was taken to the hospital on a side-by-side where she stayed for 2 weeks. Bob says they plan to buy a new double wide and replace their damaged one within it the same place, and are not afraid of another flood. A Knott County teen was helping clean up after the flood when he found something on the ground that meant more than he realized. WYMT's Olivia Calfee talked with him about the journey to reunite some precious items with their owner.
When Brady Sandlin and his dad were cleaning up, he discovered something.
I didn't think nothing of it because it was basically fell apart.
A jewelry box. But what he did not know was that it belonged to a woman whose home was washed down Troublesome Creek, salvaging nothing.
I looked down and there was 2 rings in it when I flipped it over. And me and him sat there and took pictures of them to post them. And about like 5 minutes later, I looked back down and there was another ring.
Knowing then he needed to find the owner, his dad posted a photo of the rings on Facebook.
We took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook, and the next day that woman commented on it.
Brady was able to reunite the rings with their owner, Cheyenne White, adding he is glad he was able to deliver a small piece of her life back after finding that the rest had washed away.
Well, you kind of give it a little different look because you don't think about what it could mean to people or anything. And once you find out the true story, then it kind of hits you and realize you just did a good thing.
Showing that in the midst of so much destruction, even the smallest deeds can make a big impact. In Knott County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
Brady says his family has been trying to help the best they can these past 3 weeks as they work to recover just like many others in our region. Many Kentucky students are back in the classroom for the fall semester, but that isn't the case for some districts in our region. In Knott County, the start date has been pushed back to September 19th because of the amount of flood damage in certain schools, including Hindman Elementary, where officials say floodwaters rose to 2 feet inside. Thankfully, other districts are stepping up to help the district prepare to welcome students back exactly 1 month from now.
For our school system to reach out to the school systems in Eastern Kentucky is the right thing to do, and the first thing we thought of.
Knott County Superintendent Brent Hoover says no words can express the gratitude Knott County has for the districts that have stepped up to help. Many celebrities and well-known Eastern Kentuckians have gotten involved in efforts to help out people across the region. That list includes college athletic teams, as well as singer Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childress, a singer as well, and American Idol winner and Louisa native Noah Thompson. Noah talked with our sister station WBKO recently and mentioned the work he's been doing to help a woman whose home had to be gutted once the waters receded.
We were helping clean up this woman's house that literally had been completely underwater. Everything she had was basically ruined. We were ripping subfloor up. Completely just remodeling her house, just about ripping everything up that was completely ruined. Her entire hillside had fell off and it was in her driveway. You know what I mean? She couldn't even get in her driveway. So it's just really sad.
Noah will be performing at the Kentucky State Fair next week in Louisville and at Hazard's Black Gold Festival next month. From floodwaters to frenzied traffic, roads across the region are seeing a lot of damage, leaving officials to remind drivers to be cautious while driving. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares some traffic tips from Pike County.
Some drivers in Pike County are feeling a little backed up.
We all know about road rage. You don't need anything like, we're all trying to get to the same junction.
As emergency management officials encourage heightened awareness with several road construction projects ongoing throughout the county.
What they're doing right now is our temporary fixes to try to get the roads back open. So there's always the possibility that that road could break off some.
Between scattered flood repairs and a weeks-long planned paving project near Cassidy Boulevard, crews are hitting the highways and side roads to make improvements.
Those folks want to go home every evening to their loved ones, and we want to give them that same courtesy. So always give yourself extra braking distance, stopping distance. You never know when you're going to be stopped when they're doing work on a roadway like that.
And with schools back in session, morning and evening commutes can see more congestion than in previous months.
You know, there's more apt for folks to have accidents because they're not expecting school buses to be on the road and more traffic.
So officials ask drivers to keep their eyes on what really matters.
If they stop and put that stop sign out, there could be a child crossing in front of that bus.
Allowing extra time and extra space as many different issues intersect. Saying one of the key takeaways is,
with the flooding that's happened and the school going back and road construction, there are a lot of factors involved there. So we just need to be patient and consider our neighbors when we're driving.
Practicing patience on the pavement. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Jackson says any road issues made worse by flooding should be monitored closely by folks who use those roads daily, and any concerns should be reported. He also reminds drivers that the stop sign on a school bus is not a suggestion. It is the law.
Coming up on 641, dense fog, the name of the game this morning as you head out the door. So slow down, be careful. We're seeing less than 5 miles of visibility across a big chunk of the region, which is dense fog across the area. So just be careful. Somerset, 4 miles, along with Monticello there, 1 mile in Harlan and Middlesboro, 2 miles in Hazard, 0 visibility. Pikeville, Logan, and Ashland, so especially in far eastern and northeastern Kentucky, slow it down just a little bit. A few clouds over UVA-wise this morning, so we're going to continue to monitor that. It's going to be back and forth throughout the day as we head deeper into it. 63 over there right now, dew point at 59. They got a little bit of a south-southeast breeze there at 5 miles per hour, and we're seeing a little bit of a visibility non-issue over there, 10 miles. Feels like 63 out there this morning as that dew point is staying low. 57 just up the road in Clintwood, 59 in Jonesville, 61 London and Somerset, 60 in Manchester, 59 Hazard and Irvin this morning, 61 Jacksboro, 60 in Prestonsburg and Pikeville. Out the door forecast today, you are going to be seeing dry conditions to start, some fog around out there, maybe some clouds in some spots, but those chances for rain will move back in later today as we head into the first football Friday night in the mountains. Jim?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. Our time is 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. The Biden administration announces some new guidance in order to give millions of children access to health services while at school. That's on the way.